From storybooks to the streets of Japan and all the way up in the stars, Xbox hits us with a developer direct featuring Forza Horizon 6, Beasts of Reincarnation, Kiln, and a very much still alive Fable. We take off and land amongst the stars with the latest Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer. Pedal to the metal and full throttle into this episode of the GoGCast.
Get ready for the Girls on Games podcast, your weekly dose of news, reviews, and everything video games. Always served with a good helping of hype and just a pinch of salt. And now, your host, Leah.
Hello and welcome to another Girls on Games podcast. My name is Leah. I'm the host of this show. This is episode number 526, and it's the Kat and Leah show today. Hey, Kat.
Hello, how are you?
I'm excellent, thanks. For those who are wondering about Joelle, she's okay. She's just taking a little mental breather this week, resetting, chilling, with everything going down where she lives. We totally understand. So taking a breather this week. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of housekeeping for us before we get into the crew check-in. If you enjoy this show, you can subscribe. We're available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Podbean. If you'd like to give us a tip, maybe buy us a coffee, you can do that by going to our Ko-fi. That's ko-fi.com/girlsongames. Catherine, what have you been at this week, girl?
Man, it was a week.
Yeah, true. It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride for you, huh?
It was a week at work. It was a week after work. Between the weather and everything.
Yeah.
But I'll focus on the good.
Let's focus on the good, yeah.
Yeah. So Friday night, my friend Uva, who spends like part of December back home in Serbia, came back and she was like, we gotta catch up. So, Friday night we went to a place near Berry-UQAM Metro called Brasseur du Monde, so a brewery, because my friend's really into beers. And she ordered like a beer taster.
Yeah.
It was like $12. It was basically the price of a pint.
Oh, so is it like a flight where you have the little ones?
Yeah, exactly. But they did it like in almost like a Christmas tree, like it twirled around.
Ooh!
And she spent a lot of time like discussing like the different beers and their notes. Like she's a connoisseur, right?
Yeah.
And I think she impressed the waiter because he gave her like an extra little flight of shit to taste. I ordered sangria and I could pick the size.
I'd be you too because I don't drink beer.
Yeah, same. It's not that I don't like it. It makes my feet swell, which is weird, and I don't like it.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And I've gotten past it burns because carbonation, because I actually like a fair amount of carbonated stuff. Now I just don't like the taste of beer.
Yeah.
Give me hard liquor any day or good old glass of wine.
Their sangria was really good. It was rum-based more than white-based. So,
that's some hefty sangria then.
And they had the brewery size, which was basically like a big buck. It was almost a liter sangria.
Oh my God.
This fucking sweetheart of a man brought me a flight of cider saying, hey, you can taste our home cider because I noticed you didn't drink beer. So we got like extra shit.
Nice.
And we ordered food. I got like a burger and a poutine. It was pretty good, like really decent. My friend tried they're known for their brisket, and they had like a mix between like a Korean inspired brisket bowl. So there was brisket, but they had like seasoned it like the bulgogi, like the sweet meat, with gochujang for spice, and there was like fresh veggies and some rice.
That sounds awesome.
It was really good. It was really good. Still very generous. And like the place was pretty bopping. And people were in and out, and we spent a good like hour. Like we ate, we drank, we had dessert, and they gave us. We spent a good 30 minutes just sitting there drinking water, keeping talking. And at first, like, the guy comes to see us, and we're just
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do you need the table or whatever?" He's like, "No, you can stay." Like, because we're like, "Oh, we're thinking of ordering another round." He's like, "Cool, I'm having issues with the beer though, so there's no beer." Uh, they were having
Cider
issues.
for everybody.
They were having carbonation issue, and then my friend was just like, "Come back when the beer's fixed," and he was like, "Cool." And 15 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, "Beer's fixed." And I was like, "You are so good, like amazing, like 10 out of 10 service." This dude was really into it, but yeah, and like people were, it was bustling and whatnot, and we were just like, "If you need the table, let us know, and we'll fuck off. Like we'll find a coffee shop." And they were like, "No, it's fine." And yeah, so we ordered more drinks and whatever. And I think like we got in there, it was like 6:30. We left, it was well past 10. But it was a good yap sesh. Like I had stuff to rant about. She had stuff to rant about. She had stuff to talk to me about her trip. And we just had a really good time, and it made me feel just so much better. And then Saturday we have Alba and Sarah that came over to play our new Lord of the Rings game.
Oh.
Which is called Lord of the Rings and something of the community. I forget the name. It's by the same dude that designed Pandemic.
Okay.
And more recently, he did Daybreak. So, Pandemic, you have to fight an infection from taking over the world. Like it's, you move little things of infection, and it's a co-op game, you against the board. Daybreak is very similar, but it's fighting pollution, saving the planet from pollution.
Neat.
This is basically, it's basically war. So, fighting the armies of Mordor while somebody, as Frodo, tries to like go dump the ring in the fires of Mount Doom. Very similar, very fun. So they came over to try that. And the goats, because of all the discussion I've been having about the PS5, Sarah lent me her disc of Miles Morales on PS5.
Oh, fun.
So now I get to play the whole Spider-Man saga on PlayStation 5.
Fantastic.
So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, and I slept in all weekend, which, by the way, for me is sleeping past 8 a.m. Let's not get... But also just a lot of laundry. And then the exciting thing this week is our mattress delivery.
Nice. Oh, that's good.
I am living for that. When they announced, like, it's been cold. Like, I was talking about the weather, like, it's been, like, minus 30, which we haven't had in decades because of climate change. And now it's like, holy shit. But then it's ending with, of course, a giant snowstorm, which you guys got hit like something fierce.
Yeah, record-breaking snowstorm for us in Toronto, GTA region. That occurred yesterday, Sunday, as we record this.
Yeah, and I was
greatest day to play video games all day. Oh my god, it was magical.
Well, for us, it was mostly today, but I was afraid that it would go well into Wednesday when I'm supposed to get a delivery. But so far, the brunt of it was today. And it wasn't as bad as Toronto. You guys got what, 30 centimeters?
Girl, 60? 60 centimeters. I posted on my Instagram. If anybody wants to go follow me on Instagram, on the Edge, a reel of we brought Mike. Mike was playing video games. He was racing competitively. And usually does it on Sundays around 4:00. So like 5:30 he was done, and I turned to him. I was like, "Hey, so all the snow. It started snowing at like 8:30 in the morning. It literally did not stop until like maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I was like, Mike, let's get done up and bring the dog out. We're not going to bring a frisbee or ball or anything. We're just going to lose it. So we go out in the park that's across the street, and literally it is up to it at minimum Gibson's belly, at maximum over his head.
Wow.
And he's leaping like a gazelle. And the snow is the fluffiest snow. We were outside shoveling and attempting to keep our spot, our neighbors, and there's an older lady that lives across the way. We were making sure her spot was cleared out. But like literally we'd go over to Anne's, go and sweep. And it was more like sweeping than shoveling because it was that light. But as soon as we go over there, we go back to our spot and it was covered again because of the way that the wind was kind of throwing it around.
Yeah.
But like, holy crap, so much snow. And I was supposed to have a delivery today. I was supposed to go get my new car. But even though they're like a block away, the dealership, they had to probably shovel that car out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't switch our car today. We'll be doing that on Thursday instead. But I have been living the high all week. Well, since Thursday. I didn't watch the Xbox Developer Direct IRL. I watched it afterwards because I was using my console purchasing skills and the many times I have, tried to scramble and get a console at pre-order to buy tickets to see BTS, and I got them. So Mike and I are gonna go see the Bangtan Boys in August at the stadium, the Rogers Stadium. I am excited. I tried to get similar tickets to what I got for Blackpink, but at the same time, I didn't want to break the bank in what I was like. I didn't need to. My limit was going to be around $800, and Mike was like, I told that to him afterwards, and he was like, it was not, and I'm like, yeah, but I managed to get them for just over $5 for 2 tickets.
The ticket prices are ridiculous. I'm sorry, this is.
Oh, yeah,
dumb.
There's a whole other can of worms. Here's the thing, though. So I bought them on the BTS Army pre-sale.
Okay.
The way that I was able to get into this is thank you to all those people on TikTok walking you through the process, because I literally did this, and this is how my colleague was able to get tickets, too. So there's an app called Weverse, and there's a lot of K-pop acts on that. There's also some other acts as well, some non-Korean acts, but like that's the spot where like there's social media where they keep it up to date. It's very much like music focused. And you can sign up to become a member of like the Weverse, but then also too, you can pay money to be part of the official BTS Army fan club. It was $30 USD, and I did it. And because of that, I was able to get into the pre-sale and buy my tickets. Because the way they set up the pre-sale is you had to use your Army code, your ID or whatever, to unlock access to the tickets. So yeah, I was able to do it. It started at 1. I logged in maybe like 15 minutes before. I was already, my Ticketmaster's up to date. And yeah, in like 20 minutes, I had tickets.
Beautiful. That is some legendary shit right there.
Yeah, so look, the pro skills at attempting to buy Nintendo Switches and Xbox consoles and PlayStation consoles and PS Vitas, all these things on pre-order day has come in use.
Come in clutch, that's for sure.
Yeah, for seeing these guys were supposed to be in town in 2020. And then COVID hit, and then they all hit the age where they had to go in like actual army, like North Korean army, or no, South Korean army, not North Korean army.
Oh no, you wouldn't see them ever again.
South Korean army, never again. And then they all finished, and then they announced they've got a new album coming out and a tour and everything. So yeah, I'm excited, so excited. But yeah, let's get into the Fantasy Critic. Not gonna lie, not much happening when it comes to points in the podcast league, but we did have some bids. Beast of Reincarnation was won by, in the name of the game, I shall punish you, Cat. That's you. You bid of $11. You got that. And then Mario Tennis Fever was won by You Shall Not Game Pass. That is Joelle. With a bid of $1. There were no drops this week. So since nobody's released anything, we're all just kind of sitting pretty and wait until the game releases. Community League, a little bit more action. We had 2 games released. Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven, that's the new DLC for Cult of the Lamb. That was on Margot's list. She got a critic of 86.16. And then and then Phoenix list, Sparkle Fun Games to keep you from the Darth. Great name. Mio Memories in Orbit, critic of 83 points of 13. So way to go, Phoenix, for getting that. Bids. Marathon. It was won by Pat with a bid of $11. Phoenix tried to get it for $4, but was outbid. Enter the Gungeon 2 was won by Margot with a bid of $3. Hermit and Pig was won by Jessica Starr with a bid of $9. Margot tried to pick that up too, but was outbid. Bloodstained the Scarlet Engagement was won by Offshore Meteor with a bid of $8. Unannounced Fallout 3 Re-Something. What? Unannounced Fallout 3 something. Wow, that's
Wow,
speculative.
yeah.
That speculation was bid on by Phoenix with a bid of $7, and he won that speculation. And then The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales was won by Jessica Starr, a bid of $12. Offshore Media tried to pick it up as well, but it was outbid. And then we got a counter pick. Hell Let Loose Vietnam was won by Offshore Meteor with a $1 bid. There was one drop. We'll get into this a little bit later. Pat dropped Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, considering that was canceled last week. In the ranking, I kind of need to open. So where we stand right now with the folks with points, Margot's in first, Phoenix is in second, everybody else is in third because we got no games out. And that is Fantasy Critic. Let's talk about the games we're playing. Catherine, so did you play Miles Morales this weekend, or are you still playing Baldur's Gate?
I'm still playing Baldur's Gate. Listen, the Dark Urges are back. And they are spicy. And I was talking with people about how I managed not to get spoiled. And then Pascal, the love of my life, spoiled me.
That bitch. He did you wrong.
But also, he kind of reminded me, he's like, towards the end of the game, the dude in the basement. I'm like, yeah. He's like, he was the villain in the first 2 Baldur's Gate games. And I'm like, I barely remember those stories, but okay. And he was like, well, kind of tied to that. And I was like, oh. And then I just went, oh. And I was like, oh.
No.
But I should have seen it coming.
You should have known better. You should have said, I don't want to be spoiled.
At the same time, I was unspoiled by the fact that I low-key forgot the end of Baldur's Gate 3. Because it's been 2 years.
Yeah, like been 2 years.
Realistically, I think by like the second time you have like hallucinations, I should have made the connection. But because I forgot, I kind of forgot the end of the story there because it's been a while, and then like I played at least Baldur's Gate 2. I remember my friend lending me his CD of Baldur's Gate 2. I don't remember if I finished it. I don't remember most of the story. Like I did like a quick recap of like this, and because I play D&D, I'm up to date on like the world of Faerun and the goings on. I was not surprised to see Jaheira when you get into like an area that has harpers and shit like that. So I was like, oh yeah, that girl. But I should have seen it coming. Honestly. It was like I was unspoiled because of my naivete. But yeah. No, I'm almost done the part with Moonrise Tower, so I think I got maybe I'm gonna power through it, finish it, and then I'm gonna start Miles Morales because now I'm invested. But now that I have my next game lined up and I'm like, I want to get to my next game, I might stop overthinking my choices in Baldur's Gate 3, and I might just fuck shit up. I might just be
Do it. See what happens. You don't know. Maybe you find something you didn't expect.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, definitely, like, I might let Shadowheart fall deeper into her trauma and see how fucked up it gets. Things like that. Like, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna, and if I feel really bad about it, I'll just stop playing and move on to Miles Morales. But yeah,
there you go. You always go back, like I did. I went back to to Animal Crossing's New Horizon.
Yeah, for the new content.
I am in deep cat. When I say yesterday, snowstorm day, was a great day to stay in and play video games. I did laundry and played video games. I am in deep. So I feel like I've seen almost at least a little bit of everything that all the different DLCs and updates have kind of brought to the game over the years, because I did play a little bit of the Happy Home Paradise DLC, but did not get nearly as far as I should have, because I'm unlocking like partitions and pillars and counters and stuff that I didn't have before, not at all. And with that, I am also kind of thinking about, well, what am I going to do? I want to redecorate places, but the most annoying thing in Animal Crossing is you see all these cool things people make on Pinterest and Instagram and whatever else, and you're like, how in God's name do I get all those items?
Yeah.
Do you remember
I
last
want
week
it.
how did you remember when I mentioned last week about these treasure islands?
Mhm.
So, short and sweet, a treasure island is essentially someone is running a hacked Switch 2 or Switch 1, running the Animal Crossing game with a number of items or resources or DIY cards or whatever, essentially all over the entire map. So they flatten the map. They've got all these things out there. It's a hacked Switch. You go in, you pick up what you want, and you leave, right? So you go. And people have, because there's so many items in this game now, people who are running these treasure islands essentially have multiple switches running, and one of them may have all the furniture items, and another one has wintry items, and they try to categorize them because there's just too bloody many, right? So for my first foray down this, first off, I wanted to make sure like this wasn't going to kill my Switch. It doesn't, because it's not you taking the risk. It's the people with the hex switches that are taking the risk.
Okay.
And like I kind of wanted to get an idea of what this is all about. So what you do is you can kind of go on YouTube or you go on Twitch and you search Animal Crossing New Horizons Treasure Island, and you'll find like a video of like someone who's essentially streaming, and they'll have like a bunch of like imagine the whole screen is gridded out, and each one is a different island that they're running, a different Switch that they're running with different items on it, and you essentially get a dodo code from that and try to join, go and get what you want, and then leave. And I manage, usually they have like umpteen different ones, and then they have some that are kind of freebies that anybody can join. Obviously, the lineup's supposed to be nuts for those. But then there's ones that are kind of behind paywalls, be them subs to the Twitch or Patreons or whatever else. So I tried this one person's and like struggled to get on at first, just because there's so many people when you're doing one of these, right? Because you don't know if people are coming or going. There's no lineup. There's no nothing. You just got to try. And I got on one, and I was like, oh my God. I got on this island. There's items everywhere. Pick up anything you want. And I'm like, God damn, how do I know where things are, what island I should be to, whatever? I don't have the Zelda and Splatoon amiibo to unlock all the items from those amiibos, but I got them because I went to an island that had all of them.
Oh, wow.
So then I was so impressed with the system this streamer was running that I was like, okay, how do I get into these like subscription ones? So I ended buying a first level tier on one of their Patreons. They have in turn a Discord, and the Discord is so well set up that they've got like all the rules, all the different islands. They've got maps. They've got an item finder. So if you know the name of the item, you can type in ! Find the name of the item. It'll tell you which island to go to. And then
Holy
each
shit.
each version of their island has different name. It could be sun, moon, winter, furniture, artisan, whatever. So say I need to go get a whole bunch of wood. I'll go onto the artisan channel in their Discord, and you kind of just watch, and they've got a bot running. It'll tell when people are coming or going and give you the dodo code. And if it crashes for some reason because someone doesn't leave properly or some other technical glitch, it'll say game crash, will come back with dodo code. And a few minutes later, it'll come back with a new code. So I've spent hours cataloging, building, doing stuff. Like it has given this game so much more life for me. It's insane.
Like the modding community are absolute legends. Like they're the ones keeping most of these games alive. Are you kidding me?
If I was just buying the DLC or whatever and playing through it, I feel like this is not like 2020 where I'm trying to like escape it. And I do find when I first getting to know games, getting to learn it, but I do find that at some point you start hitting the grind for these types of games too. Like even in the farming sims or management sims, like you'll get like almost like bored of it a little bit and step away and need to come back. But then sometimes when you come back, you're like, I don't really want to do this grind. This eliminates the grind completely. And so when cleaning between that and then testing out the new systems like the Resetti system. So there's a character now that you can go and call over, and he will reset an area. He'll pick up all the flowers, pick up all the things, put them in your storage and everything. And I'm like, that was game changer because I literally had like 100 blue roses and I was able to instantly pick them all up and store them so that I could like rework on my island instead of have to dig them up one by one, which would have been freaking painful. Wow, what a new lease on life that I've gotten from Animal Crossing New Horizons. And I don't know if it has absolutely anything to do with the game itself. Yes, who am I kidding? There is the stuff that they've done with the item crafting, how that you can do more than one at a time now. All the new islanders, I gotta say, having all these other places to decorate, the things that they've improved in both Happy Home Paradise and the hotel. There's definitely stuff there. But yeah, between that and finding this community of people who are doing this stuff, like I'm mind blown by it. And it's new lease on life for this game for sure.
Beautiful. I'm happy you found hackers.
Yes. Thank you, hackers. All right. This is a video game podcast. So let's play a podcast game about video games. Kat, I feel like you had me in mind when you wrote Cat's Pokemon or Celestial Body.
Yes, I figured since we're celebrating the new trailer from the Mario Galaxy movie, I would say, is this a Pokemon name or the name of a celestial body? And today we're keeping to our solar system.
Okay.
And close neighbors of the solar system. So I'm not going into like whatever galaxy, right?
Okay.
So again, you can't psych your way out of this. It is strictly by alphabetical order. And I have 4 celestial body and 4 Pokemons. Did you lose
4
me?
celestial bodies, 4 Pokemons. I did lose you for a second. It's okay. Cole's notes, you got 4 celestial bodies, 4 Pokemons, and I gotta try and figure it out.
Exactly. So, our first one is... I should have wrote down the pronunciation of all of these.
It's okay. Do your best.
I'm looking at even the Pokemons. I'm like, I'm going to butcher this, and the weaves are going to be like,
I can't see half of the Pokemon names. Don't even worry about it. I look at it, and I'm like, it's the one that looks like a dog. Zygarde, you got it.
So our first one is Chariklo. I'm going to decide to pronounce it that way. Chariklo.
Spell it.
Chariklo.
That's a Pokemon.
It's a ringed asteroid or centaur in the outer solar system.
No way!
Yeah, it orbits the sun between Saturn and Uranus.
Oh, I want to see pictures of these. You should add them into the thing.
Yeah.
Into the thing. Yeah. What do we call it? The website. That's it. Girlsongames.ca.
Yeah, I got links to I just copy paste from Wikipedia, so it's all linked. But yeah, it orbits the sun between Saturn and Uranus, and it takes 62.5 years to complete one orbit.
Wow.
Yeah. Our second entry, Deoxys. Deoxys.
That one's hard. I'm going to say Pokemon again.
It is. It's a psychic-type mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 3.
Do you know what it looks like? Can you describe it?
I gotta click on my link to go back to Bulbapedia. Why did you bring me? It's the one that is like orange, and it has forms. If they're in attack form, defense form, or speed form.
Oh, interesting.
It's like
how do you spell it?
Deoxys. It's entry number 386.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The orange and blue robot type thing. Yeah.
It's the result of a mutation of an extraterrestrial virus. I mean, close enough to space, right?
On theme.
On theme. What's next?
Yeah, my third entry is Makemake.
sounds Japanese, but I don't think it is. It's a celestial body.
It's a dwarf planet in the Kuiper Belt. A disk of icy bodies beyond the orbit of Neptune. You got that one?
I got 2 out of 3.
Our next entry, we have Oberon.
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 Celestial body.
You got it. It's the outermost and second largest major moon of the planet Uranus.
Oh.
And it's the second most massive of the Uranian moons.
Oh. How many moons does Uranus have? 2?
Good question. No, I feel it's more.
More?
How many moons Uranus? 28 known moons.
28! Damn.
No.
How small before it's not considered a moon anymore?
I know there's a way, okay. More Googling. Moon or asteroid? A moon orbits a planet while the asteroid orbits the sun?
Okay.
So I don't think it's the size. I think it's like
it's gravitational orbit.
Yeah, the orbital path.
Interesting.
So if it gets caught by a planet, it kind of becomes a moon.
Oh, neat. So it means you could get moons?
You can get moons.
You can moon up? Level up, moon up?
You can also moon down.
No.
A lot of the planets that have rings is basically moons that collided.
I made pretty Saturn rings.
Right. We're halfway through.
Okay.
Our next one.
4 out of 5?
Yep.
Okay.
Our next one is Omastar.
Pokemon.
It is dual type rock water fossil Pokemon introduced in Generation 1.
Oh yeah.
It evolves from Omanite.
Right.
They're the troglodyte looking ones.
Yeah.
So far you're doing good.
I'm doing good.
Right. Our next one is Quagsire.
Oh, that's a Pokemon.
You're right. Dual type water. Yeah, water ground Pokemon in Generation 2.
Yeah.
Evolves from Wooper.
2 of the funniest sounding Pokemon names, Quagsire and Wooper.
Yeah. All right. Second to last, we have Ursaring.
A celestial body.
Pokemon, normal type, introduced in Generation 2.
It's a bear, right?
With a ring on his belly. That's why it's called Ursaring.
God damn it. I was like, is that the name of that bear with the thing on its stomach or head or whatever it was?
Yeah, evolves from Teddy Ursa.
Yeah.
All right, and our final entry, I wrote how to pronounce it. Like, thanks, I should have done that for every entry.
You did fairly good job on most of them.
I wish I would have written down Shericlo and Deoxys. Our next one is Zoozve.
Spell it.
Zoozve. Zoozve.
Oh, a celestial body.
It's a quasi-satellite orbiting around Venus.
Neat. So 8 out of 10. Not bad. 80%. I'll take it.
I mean, a lot of them were from the first 3 generation, which I think you're like more familiar with.
Yeah, but it also just depends on kind of like what you play a lot with. I find that sometimes like certain Pokemon, like I might catch it enough to fill up the Pokedex, but I never really play with them much, so it doesn't like register the same. But then there's certain Pokemon that are like the names are super witty, or they have like Wooper, and in particular like is in the anime a fair bunch, and stuff like that. They just kind of stick because there's like over 1,000. Mike's been trying to build his TCG deck, and we were talking through it all the other day, and I'm like, Mike, And he's like, but these are all the Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet. I'm like, but Scarlet and Violet didn't have all 1,000-something Pokemon in it. They couldn't. There's too many.
I know. It's crazy, but I figured like some of them are less known, but it's at the same time, like sometimes I was like, should I go on the nose? Because there's like, I forget which moon, but like, you know how you have Umbreon?
Yeah.
There was a moon that was like called Umbral something. And I was like, will that be too, like, is Umbreon too note? Am I like, sometimes I try to be like, oh, it sounds like a Pokemon. Like that would fool Joelle. But I know the EV evolutions like on the tip of your fingers. So you'd be like, nah, that's Umbreon.
Yeah. Umbreon's also my favorite. Good choice. All right. We've got some news to cover because things are moving and shaking in the video game world. So we're going to get into that right after this break. Time to talk about some news. And this one's going to be a little bit challenging to talk about considering Kat works there and I don't have Joelle to kind of banter back and forth with. But I did want to call out, considering this made big news last week and still continues to make news into this week, is some of the project cancellations and studio closures and layoffs that are hitting Ubisoft. So we do have an article from IGN straight up saying Ubisoft cancels 6 projects, including Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, hence why earlier we talked about Pat dropping that game. In the Fantasy Critic, also closes 2 studios and confirms further layoffs in major company restructure. So, 6 games were canceled, one of them being Prince of Persia, a bunch of delays to 7 titles. 2 Ubisoft studios are being closed completely, and there's actually other layoffs being announced, which we learned of some further news of that today. So unfortunate, because it sounded like Prince of Persia was actually pretty close to being launched based on the rumor mill that was kind of going on out there. No specific details been given to the 7 titles, and there's been that rumor about the unannounced remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So Ubisoft Stockholm will fully close as a result of the changes. They worked on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora alongside mobile studio Ubisoft Halifax, but that actually broke last week before all of this happened. Restructurings, in air quotes, have been taking place at Ubisoft offices in Abu Dhabi, at Trial Studio Red Links, and at Massive, home of the Division. In addition, all teams are required to return to in-office working 5 days a week, albeit with annual allowance for remote work days. Then today, so that was January 21st, so Wednesday of last week. And then today, there was an announcement that Ubisoft launches voluntary redundancy process to cut 200 jobs from Paris head office. All of this is totally unfortunate, considering the amount of lives that are going to be uprooted from it. It sucks to not have some of these projects ever see the light of day. I was really excited to play Prince of Persia. It's sad, and hopefully Ubisoft can right the ship. Hard to talk about it without having someone to rebuttal against, but obviously, considering Kat, the position you're in, you can't do that. Hopefully, maybe Joelle and I can get a chance to talk more about it next week, maybe get her 2 cents on it. And then we can discuss a little further. But Kat, feeling for you guys over there at Ubisoft past week.
And I want to say, I'm not talking just because of NDAs, but there's also like, I'm not like privy to what's happening across the world. So sometimes like projects get canceled and I'm like, I didn't even know we were working on this project. So sometimes they're like, yeah, we're canceling this project at whatever studio. And I'm like, I have no idea how far along they were, what it was about. So it's not like I'm not talking because I don't want to lose my job. Yes. But there's also like, I think a lot of people kind of like when they approach me and ask me like off the record, they greatly inflate how much information I might have. And I'm
that's
also
that's in a big company. It's like that. Like, I don't know how some of the other properties are run.
I'm pretty sure like if
media, but
and I'm pretty sure if people would hit you up about like, did you hear about that? Like what they're doing with the phone place
and I know
bell.
nothing.
And you're like, I'm at the music bell. I don't know what they do at the phone bell or at the TV bell. Like, it's the same for me. And now that I'm in creative house focused on delivering sharp live game experiences.
Oh yeah, you guys got those number groups. I saw a grid of that.
Yeah, and I think like that thing was like part of a shareholder call because they went public, and I'm like, I didn't send that screenshot, but also they went public before I got to see them internally. So I don't know, like I can't, and because like we're a publicly traded company, they have to do stuff because of insider trading. And if people remember, historically speaking, we've like people at Ubisoft, like Yanis Malak back in the day, got caught doing insider trading and paid a hefty fine. So it's not like they're doing it saying like hypothetically there could be insider trading. It's happened. So I think they're more like strict about it. So sometimes it just sucks, but then we're like, they're not allowed to tell us.
And it's also people's jobs. Like you can't know,
And
like,
it's just, I want everybody to know there's no lack of empathy from like Ubisoft employees in general or myself. I can't comment because of my job, but also I can't comment because like 75% of that, I was like,
you don't know.
I don't know
what for us to talk about.
I don't know what I don't know. And, they announced the stuff in Paris today and we're like, okay, but I have a lot of French colleagues because there are a lot of French people in Montreal, and Ubisoft being predominantly a French company, like when they announced the program for redundancy and packages, everybody seemed to say like that's how it's done in France. So on top of like all of that, Ubisoft is in so many locales. It's like, what's the local labor laws?
Yeah.
In terms of like tackling redundancy, reducing staff. I know in France, like everybody's unionized, but not like unionized with your like corporation. They have like global unions. So if you work in video games, you're like affiliated with a global French union automatically, or I'm not too sure how it works, but it's not like a workplace unionizes on their own. So it's completely different. So sometimes people are like poking me on the side, or, we're reading the news and they're like, what do you think about that? I'm like, that sounds like a complex and very local labor law that I would need to ask a French lawyer about. So I know enough to understand it's bad news bears. Yeah. Basically. And I feel for my colleagues. And nobody wants projects to be canceled. Nobody wants people to lose their jobs. So it's rough times. It's been a week.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can move on to some happier stuff. I just didn't want to totally skirt that because one, important for us to talk about. We've been following and talking about Ubisoft games way before you even started working there. But with that being said,
it's important to talk about.
Yeah. It's happening. Where do we go first, Kat? Do you want to talk about Super Mario Galaxy Movie Direct or the Xbox Developer Direct?
Let's go for the Xbox Developer Direct because
I
am fucking hyped.
Yeah, that was a fun, like, what was it, 4 games? And one was a sneaky kind of drop in the middle that they didn't talk about at all. Because we knew that they were going to talk about Forza Horizon 6 and Fable, and what was the other one called?
Beast of Reincarnation,
which I had no idea was developed by Game Freak, and they only cited that they made Pokémon about a gazillion times.
Yeah.
But
in case you forgot.
That was a really fun direct with tons of content and learnings from it. Forza Horizon, Kat.
Yeah. Forza Horizon in Japan, yet another Forza Horizon where I will be driving on the wrong side of the road after Australia and Britain. Thanks, Playground Games. We get it. You're in the UK and you think it's the proper side. But the thing is, the biggest city in Forza Horizon history. Like fucking Tokyo drifting.
It's gonna be nuts.
Completely amazing. I can't wait.
I was watching it and I could see how much Mike is gonna like playing that game as just like a palate cleanser in between his F1 and hockey addiction. The only thing now is that it's coming May 19th to Xbox and PC, but PlayStation's not coming till later. I was hoping it was going to come day and date, but it is not. Michael's setup right now is just for PS5. I think he could probably connect his unit to a PC, but we haven't gone down the route yet of buying him his own individual PC where his setup is. But when the time comes, I have a feeling he's going to really enjoy playing that. It's just like just a satisfactory like zip around Tokyo, zip around Japan.
And the best part of Forza Horizon is the car collecting. Like,
yeah,
they're really generous on the cars. Like, I know it's like a microtransaction thing, but they're pretty generous on how to get the cars. I've never felt the need to buy the car packs. I usually can get what I want with like, by just grinding the credits or, you know, trying to get also I like shit boxes.
well, you're going to have your pick because at launch there's going to be 550 cars and the cover car is the GT.
Yeah. No, the supercars are always like amazing. But yeah, 500 cars and they're probably going to add more. Like they always add more cars. You're never low on cars. Fucking love it.
I always like driving around in those games too and listening to their fake radio stations in them.
Oh, they're so
good. And they announced too that they're working on the soundtrack and there's going to be Japanese artists. And I'm like, yes.
Honestly, like I was going to say the GTA games, but the Forza Horizon games have been like a big vector of music discovery for me.
Oh yeah, me too. Whoever they've got over there working on music, like they've got one of the best groups of music heads. Yeah. I would love to join their team at some point if they ever need it. But yeah, I think that is going to be a blast of a game. They announced too that it's going to have all the accessibility stuff you had in the previous game plus more. There's going to be this one, like if you want to just like sit back and enjoy the scenery, kind of like in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you could just set yourself on a path and just enjoy the cinematics. They're doing that in this game. And then they have this like mode for vision that's supposed to be like super high contrast. So like the road is blue and your car is red and the cars in front of you are yellow. So you can really, really tell the difference. I feel like the stuff that they've been working on in that game to make it more accessible has been super eye-opening for anybody in the game industry, let alone for those doing driving simulation games.
Yeah, because stuff like the high contrast mode that you describe, so important for people with low vision. I know they've done Stride for also for all types of accessibility, and of course, out of the box supporting the accessible controllers, like the one that, of course, made in house by Microsoft. So it's definitely like one of the most accessible racers in every term, like in every meaning of the term, like accessible as in it can be. It can be easy, it can be arcadey, you can have a lot of like assistance if you don't want to be like a sweaty player. You just want to chill and collect cars and drive. You can. It's amazing. I'm always a big fan of the Forza Horizon game. When they launch, I always spend a good year playing them off and then on and off, and then I forget they exist. And they'll announce a new one and I get hyped all over again. They're also beautiful games. Beautiful games.
That they are. The second game they talked about, Beasts of Reincarnation. I vaguely remember this getting introduced, but this developer direct totally sold me on it.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm still cautious about it, because the combat and gameplay looks very Monster Hunter
Soulsy.
And if it's like in Final Fantasy 16, I'm gonna lose patience.
Yeah. And also too, it's a company that we usually see making Pokemon games now doing that style.
Yeah.
It's very different, kind of learning curve.
I hope they actually optimize this game better.
But the idea of you having this like character who can, it kind of sounds like Avowed, can heal the blight with their body by taking it into themselves, working with a animal companion that looks like a direwolf that can do something similar, and then you've got this like symbiotic relationship between the two of them, because I think there's like a almost Avatar kind of like sync mechanism where I saw this glowy things and they were kind of coming together like from her braid and his tail, and yeah, it looks gorgeous. I'm really curious to see how it's going to play out, but summer 2026, like I feel like that is a nice pacing. To try something a little different from a studio that we're not used to seeing anything but Pokemon from. I don't know what else Game Freak makes, but this is kind of like their biggest jump away.
Yeah, I'm very curious about it. I think it's the kind of game that I would like reactivate my Game Pass for to try instead of straight up buying.
Yeah.
So I think once Forza is out, I might do a few months of Game Pass for Forza and Beast of Reincarnation.
I'm just flipping through their Wikipedia, just seeing it is mostly Pokemon games. There's a random other one here that they have in it. Random other game, but there's so much Pokemon.
Before they became the Pokemon studio, they used to do like random games. I know like when we did like, this game was done by Game Freak, like when we were doing Walk Down Memory Card Lane, it completely threw me off.
Yeah, Mario and Wario was made by Nintendo for the Super Famicom.
Yeah.
There was a game called straight up Yoshi. That's for Nintendo's for NES Game Boy. I think I remember playing that. Yeah, but then in good old 1996, Pokemon Red and Green and Blue came out and blew everything else away.
Yeah, so I kind of want to know, just like, how do you get a conversation going about with Game Freak that they want to, let's say, they want to make this like 3D game like with a different aesthetic. They don't want to be Pokemon. They want to do like something gritty.
Yeah, semi-realistic looking.
How do you then like knowing, because I guess they're not a Nintendo studio?
No, they're not.
They're not Nintendo owned?
No.
They must be like Nintendo partner?
Yeah, our preferred, something like that. They have a tight affiliation.
Well, how do you get like from, I don't know, like them? They must have pitched to PlayStation first because they're Japanese.
Maybe. Yeah.
And now, and Xbox was the one that was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah, just continue read through. They don't have much updated since the last kind of note thing is August 2024, so they don't have anything in here quite yet talking about this new game in Wikipedia. But I guess it's going to come soon because, yeah. Did you watch the direct in full, right?
Mostly, yeah. I had to at one point kind of like tune out because of work, because it was during the workday, but. Yeah, I caught up after.
Were you confused when you saw Tim Schafer all of a sudden talking about clay and making pots?
I was. But then I saw it was Double Fine and I was like, oh, okay, no.
So Kiln, which is the greatest name for what this is, an online multiplayer pottery party brawler. Yeah. This was the secret game that kind of came out of nowhere. And you know what? I'm really intrigued.
I also like that they're like secret game. Everybody was expecting something like Bethesda, right?
I was kind of thinking it was going to be Halo or something.
I thought it was going to be more Halo or like finally some Elder Scroll. I like it that it's just like some indie game, fuck around and find out. Kind of like how Peak came to be.
Yeah.
This is Microsoft's answer to Peak, basically. Because Peak is not on console because they're like so small.
Yeah.
And they also like did a game jam, and out of game jam came 2 games.
Yeah.
At Aggro Crab and Landfall. Peak's the first one, and they're like kind of like finishing the development cycle of that. and they're doing Crash Out Crew, and I think they want to port peak to console, but like in the meantime, you're gonna have Kiln.
Yeah. So you play as these
Amazing.
like spooky, they look like spirits or whatever, these like non-shaped things, and like you want to battle, I guess, the other side, your opponents, by essentially putting out the fire in their kiln. But in order to do that, you need to figure out a way to combat these characters, and also a way to port water over to put out the fire in the kiln. So you have to, in turn, create pottery of all different sorts, be it glasses or bowls or pitchers or vases or whatever. And in doing that, you have then an open like world kind of space that you got to kind of navigate into, which may have obstacles that, depending on the shape or size of the pottery you've created, you can get through or not get through, in order to battle your way to the other side and try and not break your pot before you put out the fire in the kiln of your combatant. Like, what? What fever dream?
They've got like tower defense, King of the Hill gameplay, but you gotta make your little fighter, and they're fragile.
Yeah,
It's weird as fuck, but it's the kind of thing only Double Fine can do.
yeah. I imagine trying to sit down as a game developer and be like, okay, I need to design in a video game how a user would be able to replicate the process of making a pot on is it a lathe? What do you call that spinning thing that they work with? That a pottery wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, too, all the different tools that you use and actions that you do to shape and create curvature and width, and then also bring something in to tighten it up. And then, oh yeah, now we need the physics of them exploding and throwing water around and all this kind of stuff. Like, what? I don't even know how you even get started in thinking down that avenue.
I love video games, and I love the people that make them. You guys are weird and never change. Like, this is what happened when the weird kids that used to write and read fanfiction grow up.
Yep.
And are given like a budget and tools and be like, what kind of game would you like to play? And we're like, fucking pottery fights.
I always wanted to make some pottery and then break it. Hoppa! Oh man, we're in for a treat with that one.
Yeah.
Last in the direct was Fable. That's what I was super excited for, because I felt like I didn't really know what Fable was going to be. And now I feel like I got a way better perspective, and I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, because like we knew like fairy tale world a bit a la Shrek. Now we get to see just how, for lack of a better word, Shreky it is, like the type of humor, the type of setting, but also just the fact that it's completely open in the sense that you play a character that grows up and becomes a hero, but out of that, like, do you stay the hero long enough to see yourself become the villain, or do you stay a hero because like you take control of the land, you become a landlord? What kind of landlord are you? Are you a slumlord? Are you not? Are you trying to get rich? Are you trying to be like more like a folk hero and stuff like that? And I was just like, yo, like you could become Lord Farquaad. Holy shit.
Well, you if you choose to kill off the giant and he dies in the middle of the land, then like, not only do you have a ginormous rotting corpse, you now have a bunch of people who live around that area who are pissed off because it deteriorated the value of where they live.
And it probably smells.
Weird mechanics, but oh so fitting of that title. I cannot wait to play this game. I feel like they have 1,000 NPCs, and they're not procedurally generated. They all have their own backstory and voice lines and life, and you can follow them around and see what they do, and no two are the same. And like, whoa, that's a really unique USP for a game of this size.
It's the kind of shit that gives depth to the game. It's a bit like how in Baldur's Gate 3 they had to account that in the world of D&D you have spells like Speak with Dead and Speak with Animals. And they made it like they had to weave that into the world, but also weave that into like the plot. And it's just, yeah, when you cast Speak with Dead on yourself, like you find a corpse on the ground and, you know, people are like, environmental storytelling, investigation. I'm just like, cast a spell and talk to it. You have 5 questions. Like, that's how it works in D&D. And, you know, the studio went like, bet. This is that detail of like just having NPCs being uniquely crafting and having their day-to-day and following them around is bonkers. And is the kind of stuff that I eat up in these types of games. I'm ready for it.
I like how too I don't know if this is the right title for it, but like notoriety system, whether you're good or bad, like you're living in this fantastical medieval world. There's no internet. There's no newspapers and television. So if you're an asshole in one town and go to another town, they don't know you.
Oh, yeah, unless the town crier was Tattling Tale.
Exactly. So, like, you got a little bit of chance of maybe they think you're a loser over in the old place, but this place, maybe you can become the talk of the town. Yeah. And it looks really pretty. I hope this game looks as good as they were showing it off as.
Me too. I think, like, if you have, like, a good computer or a Series X, it's going to look that good. I know on Series S is going to be, you know, whatever. Hopefully it runs smoothly is basically what you want. But now I get why it took so long for them to make this game. Like, there's a lot of like bespoke shit, and I feel like there's a lot of, like Baldur's Gate 3, a lot of replay value if there's a lot of different choices and branching dialogues, and you know, it's just so. It's Shrek the video game in such a good way.
But not cartoony. Do you know what I mean? Like, we know this is directed towards us, the adult gamer, not Shrek, which they made it and just put inside jokes in it that adults would understand. Because it's
no, but
really
it's the
kids.
type of like, it's British dry humor.
Yeah.
I use Shrek. I know it's an American production, but you know how like still Shrek had that dry humor, but it's because it's also based in like, you know, like fairy tale lands and stuff like that. And I think it's very much still in the zeitgeist of media. So I think if you don't know Fable, and I haven't played the original Fables, and when I ask people, should I go back and play them? They're like, no, they're near unplayable. They're like, nostalgically speaking, people love the games, but for today's gamers, they're like, no. So this, I'm excited to this be my first Fable. So that's why I'm like comparing it to Shrek a lot, because I didn't play the
but I get
ones.
I think, well, I do, and I think other people would relate to that comparison and how it has that like humor in it that's, it's not outright humor, it's kind of like situational in a lot of cases, and also playing on the fact that a lot of these fantastical, magical fairy tales are super silly.
They are.
And way far-fetched. And that kind of is what makes it foolish. Yeah. Good direct from Xbox. This also, Fable coming out autumn 2026, they said. We'll see if that comes to be. I hope it comes to be, not just for me, but for my fantasy critic as well. Yeah. Talking about looking good, the last thing we have to talk about is that Super Mario Galaxy movie direct, which dropped yesterday morning, Sunday morning. It wasn't very long. It was like all of 5 minutes.
It was basically, hi, here's a trailer, and they fucked off.
And then they're like, okay. And then they explained a little bit, considering, you know, probably the biggest reveal from that trailer is that, yes, Yoshi is in the movie, which we all assumed considering the tail end of the last movie.
Yeah. Yeah, this is there's a story about Yoshi. I don't the trailer was a bit all over the place. In terms of like, so I don't know, like in terms of what's the word, timeline?
Mm.
I guess
the only thing that I kind of like, there's a certain point once they revealed Yoshi that it kind of went buck wild. We were just seeing like screenshots from different action points, but like you came to this place, this like sand dune area with the like upside down pyramid that reminds you, and the like Sugar Skull style characters. They
from
were
Odyssey.
in Odyssey. Yeah. And then you go inside and you're like spooked out because it seems like it's like the underground music and Luigi is being a scaredy cat as he usually is. And then you just kind of, as you see this kind of blocked off warp pipe, they start pulling stuff away and then they realize, and the thing that comes out is Yoshi. But after that point, it was just like, crazy action moments.
Exactly. We saw Birdo.
Yeah.
At one point we see baby Mario and Luigi in the hands of Toadstool. So I don't know if they got babyfied or if it's like a flashback to when Mario and Luigi were children.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Toadstool and Yoshi are there running away from a T-Rex. That being said, when the trailer started and Chris Pratt talked, I was like, oh yeah, this dude is
I
forgot. It's still jarring. I don't think it was a good casting choice from the get-go, and second movie around is not any better. Charlie Day as Luigi, yes. I think the rest of the casting was great.
Yeah, they did a good job on the rest of it.
I don't know why Chris Pratt is Mario.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Any eagle eye SNES game players may have noticed that at one point there is a shot of Yoshi and he is carrying a Nintendo Super Scope. I had one of those growing up and played a shit ton of Yoshi Safari. This one was blue though. I've only ever seen them as the traditional SNES gray, like those two-tone gray colors with the purple buttons. That's what my Super Scope was.
Yeah, the one you play Duck Hunt with, right?
No,
this is the one for
the one that looks like a bazooka almost.
Like sorry, I didn't get it. I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up. It shows.
It had that game, and what was the other game that came with it?
Yeah,
there was another. Was it a dinosaur? It was like a Turok or something like that. Maybe. I just remembered I played the crap out of the Yoshi Safari game and loved it. This game's supposed to come out, this movie is supposed to come out in April. They mentioned that all of the principal animation is done. They are now in post-production, which also includes sound design and music, and they're going to Super Mario Galaxy to draw a lot of inspiration for music of the movie. So I think that is great.
I mean, when they towards the beginning, when you see the eyes of Yoshi, it kind of like dips into that Super Mario, like from the SNES song, like that. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm hyped for that. But my only comment on this whole thing, I was like, this was great. Where's the galaxy part? Maybe
I have a feeling that is a significant part of the plot that they don't want to release yet, right?
So
I mean, in the end, the other game was about helping save Rosalia. And then the whole galaxy part was just a mechanic to give new and interesting platforming, right? And add gravity into the mix.
Yeah. So I
actually thought. Sorry, Kat. Go ahead.
No, but I guess I'm wondering if like the different areas they're in are different planets, basically.
Maybe that could be it. I was actually thinking at first, when not dying, that was going to be Yoshi until his green nose came out, that it was actually going to be some of those little like star guys.
Yeah, same.
I don't remember off the top of my head what they're called, but I like the transition of them being Mario and Luigi being in their kind of like traveling cloaks and whatever, and they pull out their hand with the fire powers, and everything kind of burns away and turns them into the fire versions of them for the fire power. Flower power, fire flower. What do you call that thing?
Flower power, I used to call it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm excited about this movie. The last one was great.
It's good, stupid fun. Honestly.
Great for kids, great for adults. Lots of reminiscing. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the kids downstairs, they like in their regular rotation along with K-pop Demon Hunter, they do have the Mario movie. And I don't know, they do enjoy it even if they don't play a lot of video games or they've only known like the Marios on the Switch more than anything. But like if you watch it yourself, like I remember watching it finally and be like, there's a lot of Easter eggs if you've played a shit ton of these games. Holy crap, it's so good. Like the people at Illumination played a shit ton of Mario and it shows.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's such a good, like, in terms of just production animation studio, it's a really good one. It's a really good one. I know people shit on the Minions, but I'm like, they do.
Yeah, but that's not about the animation. That's about the Minions themselves. They bug me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a good studio.
Well, folks, that closes out this show for this here Girls on Games cast. If you want to learn more about the stories that we talked about today, and maybe Kat will even put in the celestial bodies from our game, go check out the show notes on girlsongames.ca. It's where all of those articles list, along with every other podcast episode we've ever done and all the references from those. So if you ever want to go back and listen to the back catalog, you can. If you have the power to rate and review this podcast where you are consuming it, that would be much appreciated. Why? It helps with discovery, pushes us up in the rankings. Any comments you leave help us build our show. Thank you, Catherine, for being here with me and talking video games today. Would you be so kind as to tell everybody your social media handles so they can follow you anywhere and everywhere online?
Yeah, I am CSDSBINS, CSDBien. On Blue Sky and Instagram is basically where I'm kind of active right now. But you can always find me on the Girls on Games Discord.
And I am Leah Jewer on most social media platforms, but of course you want to know everything there is to know about Girls on Games. You can track us down at The Girls on Games on X and Facebook. Just Girls on Games, no thought in there, on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Discord.me/Girls on Games to continue this conversation and more. But of course, if you ever want to know anything at all, you can track it down at our home base. That's our website, girlsongames.ca. Thank you, Kat. It's been another lovely week in video games, and I'm off to play more Animal Crossing like it's 2020 in 2026. All right. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.